Hi everyone, this evening I am playing Napoleon Invades Spain. This is one of the Operational Studies Group's Napoleonic games, and we are playing the Battle of La Coruña, which I've got set up on the table here that you can see. It's a smaller format size map, so it's not too big. Doesn't take up a huge amount of table space, and I think it's a 6-turn battle. It took place on the 16th of January 1809, I believe. And we've got the French countess here at the bottom of the map that you can see. There's a repaired bridge there. And then we have the British countess here. There's more. There are a couple of victory hexes that we'll be playing for this evening. Here and here we'll be playing for these. There's a chateau here and here. I've played this quite a few times now, and it's quite a short form scenario. Doesn't take a huge amount of time. There are some potential reinforcements. I am playing the rules that come with the game straight. There's a few house rules that I use that I might talk about as I'm sort of playing through. But I did review this game as a separate video, so please, you can feel free to check that out. But we will be rolling for the reinforcements. I'm not going to be using the cards as I'm playing the game solo. So I'll be rolling to see if those potential reinforcements come onto the game. So a mixed first turn. The French were able to push the coalition back here. And have advanced, made good with some of their foot. However, in the centre here, their attack was repulsed, and actually the French were pushed back themselves. The British have taken this opportunity in their section to sort of organise themselves in such a way as to make progress very hard for the French. And with only a small number of turns, it's a significant challenge for the French to make the progress that they need to be able to capture those victory points. So some fierce fighting already. The game has quite a brisk. Doesn't take a brisk turn of play. Doesn't take too long to do. And the weather for the first turn was wet, so there was no artillery bombardments possible. Now, if there had been, that could have swung it, because the French have got plenty of artillery, plenty of cannon here that we can see. That might have been able to swing it more for them in their favour in the first turn, but weather was putting a stop to that. So the French have been able to make a little bit of progress because they were able to surround some of the British counters and then force them to retreat, and in doing so inflict casualties. But here the British, I should say, really held them off and just pushed them back a bit. So backwards and forwards, this area here, if we just move this little stack here out of the way, can be quite difficult for the French because they're going to have to fight across this bridge and this stream here. But they do have an opening on this side through this bridge here. So they may start moving some of their counters around here to try and make good on this area here. This is going to hold them up. Because we've got two Ezocs here that will hold them up quite nicely, I think. So we'll see. So the French are having a great time of it. They have been able to push the British forces back and back and back. Have suffered nothing detrimental to their forces at the moment. The British have however, got themselves into quite good defensive positions for that defensive those victory points, and they have some reinforcements that have come on as well. So it's going to be a question of if they can just hold out for the last few remaining turns, or if indeed they will be pushed out of those objectives and the French will take the victory. So we'll see. A very eventful turn. The French have been able to capture that objective there with no too many problems. It's actually, this turn is the thunderstorm, so there is gameplay affected by that. if I just move around the camera, the weather effects for a thunderstorm, for example. Artillery 3/4 of the unit strength, infantry half the unit strength, which is probably the most significant impact. And the French are having so they've made good progress there, got their objective. However, this side of the map, they've been pushed back. So attacking the British in the thunderstorm didn't pay out. The British were able to push them back. Just hold on to that area, just holding on to this area here. So we're down to the last couple, literally the last couple of turns now, just to see if the British can hold on to this objective here. It's hard to imagine the British being able to push the French back out and retake. They may do. We might have a bit of an attempt there. Looking at this stack here, we got a good, some good units, a good counter there. So we'll see. I've just done the last 2 turns quite quickly just to bring the game to a conclusion. The French, secured this area here, but were unable to push the British out from this area here. No matter how hard they tried, there was a step loss involved, bit of backwards and forwards, but no great sense of the momentum that the French had in other parts of the battle. So in conclusion, it feels like more of a victory to the French, as they were able to inflict more losses on the British, but the British were able to just about hold on. So marginal victory in my mind. I play these sort of games, playing them like a game like this, solo, playing both sides. I'm looking for that rich narrative through the game, maybe some surprises and unexpected turn of events, and I definitely had that playing the game this evening. It is in my opinion, a very enjoyable wargaming evening playing this scenario. I've played it quite a few times now. Always enjoyed it. Always had quite different outcomes as well, I would say. I can remember one game, French just couldn't do it. Didn't seem to do anything, and were automatically made no progress whatsoever. In another game, French made good progress, but then were pushed back by the British, and the British took the fight back to the French. This game, very eventful, taking this area here. And again, it is, with wargaming, it's as much about the die roll as that's obviously a contributing factor. So a very enjoyable evening. I have reviewed this game because this is just one of the scenarios that you get in the game. You get multiple maps, multiple scenarios. So if you're interested in learning more about this game, then please check out the full review that I did as well. But a very, very enjoyable wargaming evening. A very relaxing game to play. Very eventful, with a strong historical narrative. So I couldn't ask for any more than that. That for me is a perfect wargaming evening playing a game like this solo. So really enjoyed that. Thanks a lot for watching as ever. Thank you.